We are living in very extraordinary times. We have access to the World Wide Web, the internet, mobile phones, planes that can take us around the world. This is an incredible time for humanity in terms of our connectivity. And yet, we're still living with so much that is undiscovered, unknown. The leading edge of science has many question marks about the fundamental building blocks of what makes us conscious. What is life? So I consider it really important to remember that we have, throughout our history, our indigenous cultures that still practice meditation, the rituals, the remembering that we have access to a non-computer vast network, an infinite source of wisdom and knowledge. And we're not educated in our school systems to access this knowledge. There is the heritage of, as I said, many indigenous cultures, some of which still practice these rituals and meditation and forms of remembering. And sometimes it might be helpful to take some learning or classes that help that remembering. But the most important is to simply take it as a possibility that you are born with this innate access to a vast, infinite source of wisdom. Often when we walk out into nature, we relax. We're not occupied with our normal circle of thinking. We gain inspiration or insight. If you read the stories of scientists or inventors, when they talk about how they came to their new understanding or invention, they will often describe a process that is not necessarily about logical thought processes, but more about inspiration, where the knowledge simply appeared, or it came to them in a dream, or they were walking and suddenly it occurred to them. And I really encourage each one of us to practice that remembering, to literally to plug into this wider source of knowledge, capacity, potential that is our natural birthright. Perhaps experimenting with different forms of meditation or ritual might be helpful. Or perhaps just taking your question, your thoughts, your open mind out into nature and being available for the magic. But I think it's really important that each one of us remembers that there is knowledge beyond our very connected and internet world. To realize that each one of us has that direct, inbuilt access to truth, to wisdom, to clarity that can enable us in our everyday lives. It can enable us to also have continued inventions and leading edge of science in a way that supports this deeper interconnectivity. Because we're all connected to this infinite wisdom. What would it be like if we all remembered that? Maybe we would live in a different reality. Potentially, who knows? But we do have the capacity, each one of us, to at least experiment with our own access. what I do find is this space is easier to access when we're not trying, when we're not using our normal form of our logical mind, but to be more relaxed, to be more, let's say, in a playful, lighter space with ourselves, to be receptive. So next time you have, let's say, an issue or a question that you would like to have inspirational clarity on, maybe take it to the playground or out into the nature and just invite your infinite wisdom to inspire you with truth.